Hey, it's George here again, and welcome to video 2 of the Sniper video series. Now, hopefully, you should have been following along in the manual. You should have hopefully, like I showed you in the last video, now picked your product, decided what market you're going to go into, excuse me, hopefully, and now you're ready to pick your keyword, okay? This is what's called your root keyword and is an absolutely huge component of the Sniper system. Okay, it's what your entire site is going to be built around, basically this one keyword. Now, with things that have now been added onto this version of Google Sniper, for example, as you'll see in the modules on the left hand side of this page, stage 2 or bulletproofing your Sniper site, this one keyword isn't as important as it once was, but it is still super important, the initial keyword you go for, and that is your best chance at seeing success with the site. Okay, we now expand Sniper sites a little bit more, but it's still very, very important. Okay, this is the one keyword that we'll be finding in this video that your entire Google Sniper site will be built around. Okay, now how this video is going to work. Basically, the video I had previously filmed is actually a really good video and has had such great response from just thousands, tens of thousands of members over the past few years that that video is going to go left unchanged. In that video, you'll see me go along and actually find a keyword in one of the hardest markets out there in the weight loss, following on from the weight loss product that I found in video 1. Okay, so I'm going to cross over to that video in a moment, but before I do cross over to the keyword research video, there is a few things I needed to point out because Google has actually changed their keyword tool. Okay, so think of this introduction as just a little update on what's happening. Okay, and then at the very end as well of that video, okay, of that pre-recorded video that I filmed a little bit of time ago, I am also adding in a further update, which is another method you can actually use to help you find keywords. Okay, so that's going to be pretty cool as well. So what's this big change? Well, basically a lot of it will make sense once you actually watch the video and start finding your keyword. However, for now, I'm just going to kind of have to give you a bit of a blind overview. Basically, what I recommend to do, as you've probably seen in the manual, is use a tool called the Google Keyword Tool. Now, Google have now taken that tool offline for whatever reason, and in their place they've put a different tool. Now, the tool is basically the same. It's got some small interface changes. There is one or two things that the new tool unfortunately doesn't have, but we work with what we have, and I did promise to get you guys set up, you know, for free or spending as little money as possible. So we're still going to use the Google Keyword Tool, or actually, as it's now called, as you can probably see on my screen, the Google Keyword Planner. Okay, now first of all, how do you get to this keyword planner? Well, it's very easy. So for example, you're going along in the Google Sniper manual here, okay, and you've got the link to keyword tool. All you're going to do is click that link. So for example, if I copy and paste this over to my other browser, copy and paste that in there, you'll see it will take me to this page. Now, here's the key. You cannot use the planner unless you've signed into Google. So what you need to do, this is crucial to finding your keyword. In order to find it, the first step to any of this, if you don't have one already, is actually creating a Google account, okay, or an AdWords account. So what you need to do is you need to click sign in to AdWords right here at the top, and then, you know, it's going to give you a bunch of stuff here, and we can just go new to AdWords, learn more. Okay, you can click on that, and then basically it's going to give you some information about AdWords. You know, a lot of these features we're never going to use, you know, being a Google Sniper. However, you just need to press get started now, you know, and just basically fill in your information. So your email address, where you're from, your time zone, currency. Obviously I recommend US dollar. However, none of this is actually going to make a difference. You just need to sign up, make a quick account, and then you're done, and then you can go in and use the Google Keyword Planner. So that's the main thing I wanted to say. You can no longer go there. You do have to make yourself a quick account. Now, once you've made your account, all you do is you go to that same link, and you basically will be taken to the Google Keyword Planner, which is essentially the same as the Google Keyword Tool, just with some small changes. So here's what it looks like. basically you enter in your keyword here, and then it gives you a load of keyword suggestions, and it also shows you obviously the average monthly search volume for that keyword. Okay, so it's all very easy to use and basically the same as the keyword tool. In some ways it's even easier. Now another thing to mention is in the video you're about to see, I'll go on and on about how you need to select, you know, phrase match and not broad match, or etc., all this different stuff you'll hear me talk about, and I literally talk about that for about 5 minutes, and I've left that in there because it is good knowledge for you to know. But you need to know that with the Google Keyword Planner you don't need to do that, okay, because all of it is built around the exact match of the keyword. Now I know that's not the phrase match, however the exact match is, you know, just as perfect really. In fact, it's the exact keyword itself. Now that might not make sense right now, but it will do in a minute once you watch the video, so I just wanted to point that out. So don't worry, the Google Keyword Planner has got you covered just like the Google Keyword Tool did. You don't need to select, you know, go from broad or anything like that. It's all kind of done for you, and essentially all you need to do is go ahead and follow the video you're about to see, bearing in mind that the tool has changed, and that's it. And otherwise follow the instructions exactly, okay? And you're going to go and watch me live go ahead and find some keywords in the weight loss market, which I believe is the best way for you to learn. So I'm going to cross over to that video now, and then I'll see you again at the end of the video for an update on an interesting new method for finding keywords as well, just to kind of help you that little bit more, because sometimes it can be difficult. And finally, one final thing, sorry, that I forgot to mention before I cross over to the video, is the competition. Okay, now in the video you're about to see, I kind of strongly go on about a certain volume of competition. That has changed, okay, now being more updated. This is crucial, is I recommend that any website with anything below 30,000 competitors should be fine for a sniper site, okay? So that key figure there is 30,000 competing websites, not 13,000 as you'll see in the video, okay? So you're aiming for keywords, ideally the lower the better, certainly 20,000 is definitely preferable, but up to 30,000, especially with what we now have in the bulletproof stages of sniping, you're going to be all set and good to go. Okay, so just bear that in mind as well. So when I'm saying 13,000, actually think in your head 20, 25, 30,000 is what I could go for with my keyword. So that's it, just a quick update, just to update you all. And now I'm going to pass over to that video. Good luck with your keyword findings, and I'll see you at the end. I recommend actually that the first time through you don't follow along and you just watch the video and then maybe watch it again and follow through and find your keyword.
I hope you enjoyed the first one. In the first video I essentially walked you through how to pick a niche and well, mainly how to pick a product, okay, and some different ideas you can use to pick it, whether it be ClickBank or not. Now hopefully you went back to the manual then, and in this video what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to find the keyword that we're going to be targeting with our sniper site. Now your sniper site will rank for a lot of other keywords, and we'll go on to that later, and I'll show you an example in the manual and stuff like that. But there is this one main high traffic, hopefully high money keyword that we're going to be targeting with our sniper site, okay? And I'm going to basically, our entire sniper site is based around this single keyword. This is what makes Google Sniper such a powerful system, and essentially this is going to be a very, very important video, okay? Now finding keywords, it's very difficult to teach, unfortunately. Most courses just basically completely leave this out. I mean, they show you the tools, but they don't show you specific examples of how to do it, okay? And that is because it's very hard to teach. It's something that's more of an art than a science, and it's going to come with practice, okay? So the first thing to bear in mind is that this is the most difficult aspect of a sniper site. It can take a while to find the keyword, okay, and the first time you might pick the wrong one, okay, you know, but as it stands now, around 90% of my sniper sites will make me a lot of money and get into the top 3, okay, and you'll get to that stage pretty quickly as well. It's just important to remember that this is a learning process, okay? So watch this video again and again, and it's just trial and error, and you looking around and starting to get a feel for the kind of keywords you will rank for and the kind of keywords you won't. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Now, with that said, in this video, I'm literally going to, I'm not going to leave anything out. I'm not going to pause the video or anything like that. Okay, or I'm going to try not to. I'm just going to show you everything. I'm going to find a keyword live, and on top of it, I've decided I'm going to try and find a keyword in the weight loss market. Okay, one of the most competitive markets, well, basically the most competitive market on ClickBank on the internet is the weight loss market. Okay, so I've picked a weight loss product to promote, and now I'm going to go ahead and try and find some keywords. Okay, now I'm not going to be targeting the product keywords in this video, so I'm not going to target the name of the product, which is fat loss for idiots. Okay, I'm not going to target that name. We're actually going to look for a real keyword. Remember that if you're targeting a product name, if you're using that approach, if you've seen that in the manual already, if not, you will see it soon, that doesn't really require any keyword research at all. Okay, so that's quite a cool method. That's perhaps how I recommend you make your first site. But first of all, let's get started. Okay, so we're here at Google, and what we're going to do is we're going to go and head over to our free tool. Okay, and this is a free tool provided by Google, I'm sure you've heard of. It's a really great tool, and that is the Google Keyword Tool. Okay, now Google provides a lot of really cool tools, provides site tracking tools and things like that, and this is one of my favorites. Okay, so just search Keyword Tool in Google, and we're going to go ahead and go over to the Google Keyword Tool now, and basically I'm going to show you how to use it. Okay, so the first thing is we're going to start off with a root keyword. Okay, now this is the keyword that you start your search with. You can be as imaginative as you want, and I suggest starting with just the most basic keyword you can, the first thing you think of. Okay, so I'm just going to type in weight loss, lose weight. Okay, now the important thing to remember is that most people are going to type in weight loss into, so if someone was looking to lose weight, they're going to type in lose weight, they're not actually going to type in weight loss. Okay, so bear that in mind, but also bear in mind that this is the most basic keyword. We'll probably find more applicable keywords to us because we're looking for keywords with such little competition. Okay, we'd probably see a lot more results if we started with something like I don't know, how to lose belly fat or something like that. Okay, that is more likely because we're looking for keywords that have very low competition here. Okay, but we'll go on about that in a minute. So first of all, we're going to start off with a root keyword, so I'm just going to start off with the most basic one. Okay, lose weight. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to click in advanced options. Okay, and we're not going to click United Kingdom, okay, which is where I'm from. We're going to click all countries. Going to have language English, show ideas and statistics for desktop and laptop devices. Okay, we do not want mobile phones. Mobile phones might be good for some things, but they're not good for, ultimately someone's selling a product. No one's going to buy a product while they're on their phone. Okay, local monthly searches, we want to click global monthly searches. Okay, and we're going to add in a filter straight away. Okay, if we don't add in we're going to add in a filter. I recommend 3,000 searches per month, but sometimes you'll get some, just a little bit lower than 3,000. Okay, so we're going to put in 2,000 searches per month as the minimum. Okay, then we're just going to enter the CAPTCHA here. It's very simple. Just going to press search, and basically it's gone out and found a whole bunch of keywords for us. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to, over here, we are going to deselect, we're going to select phrase. Okay, now this is very important that you do this. Okay, if you don't select it, you're going to find a heck of a lot more keywords, but this is the most important thing out of everything I've showed you so far, and if you forget to do this, you might build a sniper site and you'll end up getting no traffic. Okay, now it's a very long-winded explanation of what these actually do, but essentially, if I click phrase here, okay, and make sure when you click phrase that you then deselect broad, okay, so that you only get the phrase match keywords. Okay, now basically what this means is if we hadn't selected phrase, so now we see the actual search results for lose weight. Okay, now you would have thought you'd seen this automatically with broad, but you don't. So you see this is lose weight. Right now, if someone types in, this is presumably right. Google isn't always right. I mean, I'm going to say that first of all. You'd be surprised. You thought they own the company, they know the searches, but this data isn't always accurate. Okay, more on that in the manual. But so let's take this phrase lose weight. Okay, now I'm really educating you on the whole process here. So you'd think that even with the broad match, that basically if it says, well, first of all, watch this. So if we click broad, you see it gets a lot more searches, right? A lot more searches, like 1 million more searches, okay? And you'd think that that is 3,350,000 people every month type in lose weight into Google. That is the keyword they type in into Google. So if they went to Google, they would type in lose weight. But that is not the case. Okay, that is not the case at all. Because it's broad match, what it means is the phrases the words don't actually have to be together. And more than that, they don't have to be together. There can be any number of words in between them, after them, before them. So basically, with broad match, it's actually including this keyword, this keyword, this keyword, this keyword, this keyword, this keyword, this keyword. The only requirement is that the keyword has the term lose weight in it at some place, or lose and weight separately. And that is, of course, not what we want, okay? Because if we're thinking, oh, we're going to get 30, if we rank for this keyword, we're going to get this many searches, we're going to get this many visitors per month, because you will rank for this one. You won't rank for this one, this one, this one, and this one. We're only ranking for one here, okay? That is absolutely essential. It's really important, because you want to know how many searches your specific keyword is getting, because remember, we're mainly targeting one. This is the same with any site, okay? No one should ever use broad match, basically. When a lot of people are doing pay-per-click, they generally do not do broad match, okay? They generally use phrase or even exact. Now, the reason we're not using exact is because often we'll rank for keywords that have phrase anyway, okay? That have the phrase variation. They may have a word before and after, but we'll probably still rank for that, okay? So the best one is phrase. So go ahead and click phrase. Here we go. You see it's now got quotes around it, and you'll see the searches are that now, okay? They're a lot lower, and this is a much more accurate way of doing things, okay? So here we go. Now we've got a whole bunch of keywords here. Now essentially show rows 100, so we're going to have 100 keywords per page, which is the maximum allowed by Google. You can't just keep browsing and get a million ideas, unfortunately. Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of keywords here. Now, with Google Sniper sites, we're going to be targeting the long tail keywords. Okay, so we're not going to be targeting lose weight. There's just absolutely no way we're going to rank for that in a million years. Okay, it'd take you about 3 years to rank #1 for a keyword like that, and a massive team of people backlinking. Okay, we're ranking for keywords that have sort of 4 words, 3 or 4 words, okay, maybe even more. So if I was looking at all of these, and remember, all of these keywords meet our criteria. They're all over 2,000, hopefully closer to 3,000 or above. So yeah, we're not going to rank for keywords like that have 2 words in it. That's just rarely going to happen. The other thing is just be intelligent. You're going to save yourself a lot of time by, if you see a keyword that's got 550,000 monthly searches, the likelihood is a lot of marketers have already seen that, and it's going to have way too much competition for us. Okay, so don't worry about it. By the way, this competition tab here, don't worry about that. That is to do with pay-per-click. Okay, that's not actually to do with us at all. So just totally ignore that. The only thing that we're concerned with, don't concern about local monthly searches, just global monthly searches, and kind of with the trends. Okay, you want to pick a keyword that's not going down too much. So for example, you wouldn't want to pick need to lose weight, because as you can see, it's basically been declining quite heavily. Okay, you want to pick a keyword like this, which is just sort of the same all the way through. Okay, now a lot of info here, guys. I know this is why you may need to watch this video, but it's very important that you understand all this stuff. Okay, and this is going to be a practical video as well. Okay, so don't go for the keywords that look absolutely crazy. Sometimes you might, once in a blue moon, find a keyword that's got like 20,000 searches a month, and we can compete. but it's very rare, okay? And I mean, I love those days, but often it's not going to happen, okay? So look for keywords. The best luck you have finding keywords and saving yourself time is looking for keywords that have around the 2,000 to sort of 5,000 mark of searches, okay? And also long tail. So we're looking for unusual keywords over here is what we're actually looking for, okay? So easy ways to lose weight. I mean, that's a little more unusual. We're getting there. I mean, just for fun. All you do, by the way, now, show you the next stage. So let's say we wanted to pick this keyword. I mean, I don't think we'll rank for this. We'll be able to rank, but we can just check it out for fun. You know, I think this is going to be very competitive. But so it meets our criteria here, definitely. It's got, you know, 4 times 3,000, so it definitely meets that. The trends look good. And basically, now the next part we're going to do is called the sniff test. There's 2 parts to deciding if you're going to be able to rank for a keyword or not with your sniper site, okay? Now these aren't totally accurate, but they're a pretty good way of doing things. The first thing is the sniff test, okay? Now the sniff test it's not a bad way of doing things. You know, you can get a good idea for the keyword, but then it's always recommended to do the next stage as well, which is where you actually go in and look in depth at the quality of the competition you're going to be competing with. Okay, now these are explained in the manual. So if we go ahead and do the first part of it, just click on this. It's going to take us to Google. Okay, now it's going to display the keyword here in the search result. Now what we need to do is, you can see the competitors here, but these aren't real competitors. These could be anything. Okay, so we don't want that. What we want to do is we want to add in phrase marks to each side of the keyword like this. This is going to show us the real number of competitors for our sites. Now, so anything that has this number, okay, so we can see 85,000. This is way out of our league, and I'm not even going to bother with it. Okay, you see, it's not even close to 13,000. As long as it's close, you know, anywhere up to sort of 20,000, it's possible you may be able to rank, and you might want to check it out more. Okay, but the lower the better, obviously. Okay, so this has got 85,000. That's way too high. This needs to be ideally 13,000 or less. Okay, so that's the first sniff test. It's seeing how many competitors they have. Now what this essentially means is there's 85,000 websites that have this exact phrase on it somewhere on the site, basically. Okay, so that's not going to work, that keyword. We're going to go back to Google, and I'm going to start doing this faster in a minute. Okay, so now we're looking for keywords that have the sniff test. We're looking for more unusual keywords. Now obviously you get a lot of keywords here that are just ridiculous, the amount of searches. So what you can do is you can add another search filter here. You see I've clicked add another, and we're going to make it no more. Obviously you are limiting yourself slightly, but I mean it's fine. You know, obviously you're really rarely going to find, especially in a market like weight loss, you know, a keyword that has that kind of volume. No competition. Okay, 2,000 to 8,000 we're going to put in, and as you can see, these are much more the kind of keywords I was talking about that we're going to have much more a much better likelihood of ranking for. Okay, so if we go through them here, losing weight quickly, start going faster now. 54,000 results. Nope. Okay, this takes a while, by the way, guys. This is the most time-consuming part of a sniper site. How to lose weight naturally. Certainly check that one out. 208,000. That's even worse. Okay, so you never know what you're going to find. And basically, obviously, weight loss is the most competitive market there is. So I've picked this one just to show you. Okay, but you know, often in the market you might choose, it might be a lot easier. Okay. Walking to lose weight. Now that, you know, this could be, sounds a little bit more less competitive. 25,000. Okay, so we're getting closer. That's 25,000. 6,000 searches a month. Trends are good. Don't worry about the trends too much. Okay, just ideally it's not going completely down. You know, anything other than that is fine. But you know, yeah, don't worry about the trends too much. Okay, so 25,000, we're definitely getting closer. Okay, pills to lose weight. No, that's going to be very competitive. Tips to lose weight fast. Try that one. 211,000. Okay. Let's keep looking. Healthy way to lose weight. Let's check that one out. 51,000 results. No. I need to lose weight fast. Let's check that one out. 111,000. So this is a very competitive market, obviously. Lose weight without that. Now we're going to start looking for something that's a little bit more obscure. Maybe how to foods that help you lose weight. But still, I imagine this is going to be no. How to lose weight in your thighs. It's a bit more specific, a bit more unusual. 15,000. Okay, here we go. So we've got a keyword here. It's slightly over 13,000, but still, I'd probably check it out, especially because where is it here? Trends are good, and it's got 5,000 searches a month, so it's 5,400. So it's way over our 3,000 limit. This potentially means you're almost going to make twice as much money from your sniper site. Okay, at this point, a very crude way of telling how much you're going to make is how many visitors you're potentially going to get a month. Okay, and this is what this means: how many visitors we're going to get to our sniper site a month. Okay, now we're not going to get all of these visitors. Okay, but you know, it's a good indicator. Okay, so we found a keyword here, 15,000, and you know, actually I'm not going to well, we'll explore into this one a bit more. Okay, so the next stage is the second stage, and this is the more difficult stage of it. This is one that's going to require a lot of looking around. So the first stage is very simple. You go to the keyword tool, you put in, just to recap, put in your keyword here, you enter all the phrases, select phrase, put in some filters, and just try all these keywords here to do with your niche. Just type them in and you see what the results are. Now the next stage, we're going to remove, once you've found a keyword that meets the first criteria, we're going to remove the quotes, okay, and see what our real competitors are. Now the reason we remove the quotes is because we're not competing, because we want to see, essentially you're competing with these websites here. You're competing with these websites on the first page. Now the other ones, you know, the 1 million other sites, or the 15,000 other actual sites, you're not really competing with. Okay, you're just competing with these ones. So these are the ones we want to look more closely into if we're going to be able to compete for that keyword. Now instantly, I can tell you that it kind of looks okay, but kind of bad. eHow.com, you know, obviously a very big site. It's going to be very difficult to outrank in many cases. Okay, but it's not too bad. I mean, it's not like, you know, Wikipedia or something like that. If you ever see Wikipedia on the first page, you know, CNN, anything like that, you know, you're just screwed. Okay, so don't even bother with that. So this is possible. eHow, you never really know. And the second eHow, easy in articles, and this is always a very positive thing to see, is an article. If an article's there, it means you can probably rank near it as well. I kind of used to think differently about articles, but I've changed my opinion lately. And generally you can rank there. Okay, now the tough thing is that you never quite know with an article either, because you know, they get a lot of backlinks and things like that. You get a lot of people you know, that are very good article marketers and things like that, and build, you know, thousands of links to it. So it's certainly difficult to tell. Wiki answers. See, the bad thing about this keyword is obviously that all of these sites are brand names, which is one thing to look for as a bad sign. Okay, now if you recognise the brand names here, AnnCollins.com and, you know, things like that, or maybe not, this isn't a brand name, but sounded like one. I'm not really an expert on the subject of weight loss. RealWomen'sFitness.com, Wiki Answers. You know, a lot of these are brand names, they're authority sites, and it's going to be difficult to outrank them. Okay, now an authority site, to actually give you an example, is something like this, where you've got all of these different pages, all on different subjects, all different articles. I mean, there's just probably thousands here, okay? And it's likely that this website is ranking for, you know, just about every, you know, keyword going, okay? So you just got to be careful. So this doesn't look like, on closer inspection, a good keyword, because we're seeing what we were looking for is we're looking for foreign posts, we're looking for websites that you've never heard of, we're looking for that kind of thing, okay? This looks like a difficult one. It's possible we could rank for it, but honestly, you know, I think it's always better to spend another, you know, half an hour looking for keywords than risk an entire sniper site, okay? Because you will find ones that will be a lot less competitive. Okay, so close that. What else have we got here? Food to lose weight. It's the best way to lose weight. You know, there's a few ones here, but I think what I'm going to do, oh, here we go, losing weight after pregnancy. Let's check that one out. It's a bit unusual. So I mean, we found one keyword that was kind of there, kind of not. Losing weight after pregnancy. No, 23,000. How to lose weight in your thighs. Where was that? How to lose weight at home. Maybe very competitive, I don't know. 51,000. Nope. How to lose weight fast with exercise. How to lose weight fast without exercise. That's a funny one. Look, so with exercise gets 3,600. Without exercise, there's a lot more people that are more interested in that, and that's no surprise. Okay, how to lose weight without exercise. 51,000. Okay, nope. Alright, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's check this one out here. Is I'm going to enter in, I think, a different root keyword. See what we find. I'm just going to change it up a little bit. So if we scroll up, something you'll have to do. Instead of lose weight, what's another word for weight? Fat. Fat is another keyword people search for a lot. So how about lose fat? That's once again, this isn't a load of detail going into on this one. You know, lose fat quickly might be a better one. But the purpose of this, we'll just put in lose fat. See what we find. I mean, as you do this more, you get a better idea of what might work better. So, you know, for me, I might just type in, you know, like I put in earlier, you know, how to lose belly fat or something like that, and I'm probably going to find a lot more keywords for us. Okay, but for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just making it as hard as possible for myself to show you, you know, like the worst case scenario. Okay, so here we go. We've still got our filters up. We've got a load of keywords here. Let's see what we find. So lose fat, gain muscle. I mean, this is probably going to be way too competitive, but we can check it out. 31,000 results. Nope. How to lose fat fast. Never know. Could work. 190,000 results. Absolutely not. Lose body fat fast. Maybe. It's an interesting one. Specific areas of the body and weight loss are always good to target. Guess this one isn't though. 186,000. What's we got here? Lose leg fat. Let's try that. Okay. Oh, okay. Alright, well here's one. 11,200 results. Perfect. Let's just have a look again. That. Yep. Okay, so we've got a keyword here with, here we go. Here's our sniper keyword, potentially. Okay, it's met the sniff test anyway. So we've got 11,200 results. That's below our 13,000 criteria. I mean, that is fine, absolutely fine. What else have we got? Where is it here? We've got 5,400 searches per month. I mean, that's excellent. You know, it's almost double the 3,000 criteria. It's over double the 2,000 criteria mark. Trends look good. You know, like I said, don't worry too much about the trends, but it's just important. Okay, now this keyword looks like there's a lot here that we could rank for. Best way to lose belly fat. All of these look long tail. Tummy fat probably work quite well for. How to lose arm fat. You know, there's all of these which will probably work, you know, pretty well actually. This looks like a good keyword. There's probably a lot here. Okay, but let's just stick with this one for now. Alright, so we found potentially a sniper keyword. It's to do with weight loss. Essentially what we do is we would spin our sniper site a little bit more towards legs, you know, just to answer their query first of all, and then we just recommend them the same weight loss guide, and we'd be absolutely fine. Okay, in terms of conversions. So it meets the sniff test, 11,000 results. Meets every test so far. Let's actually check it out in the rankings and see who we're competing with. Okay. Well, immediately this seems like a much better keyword. You know, we don't see a big brand name at the top. We're seeing howtoloseweightfast.com, loose fat leg info, sniper site we're seeing there. I mean, I don't know if this is actually someone that's read Google Sniper or not. We can have a look at that now. Let's wait for it to load. Okay. No, this isn't a sniper site, but it's similar. Okay, this is similar to a sniper site, similar characteristics. He's got the keyword in the domain name, he's got the keyword in the blog title. If he's ranking, it's likely we can, so that's very good news, and it's likely we can outrank this guy. Okay, he's got a YouTube video. Okay, this is pretty sniper. This is quite possibly someone that's read the original sniper and just modified it a bit. Okay, so there's a sniper site right there ranking at number 3. There's a perfect keyword. Okay, number 5 we're seeing easing articles, like I said, which is usually pretty good. I mean, not always, but generally a pretty good keyword. We're seeing wiki answers here. Now wiki answers is it's tricky. I mean, it doesn't really mean anything, to be honest. But Yahoo Answers, that's good. That's what we want to see. Yahoo Answers, you'll always outrank, or nearly always, okay, in my experience. Answers.com, it's a little bit more tricky, but we'll probably be fine. Well, this looks like a really good keyword. Here we've got fatlossblog.net. Let's check that one out. Okay, this is just a blog, you know. A few different posts here on weight loss, nothing too amazing. Recommending a ClickBank product, burn the fat, feed the muscle, a very famous one. Yeah, okay. Never converted that well for me, this product though, so I wouldn't promote that one if I were you. It's just my personal opinion, my personal experiences with it. Okay, that particular ClickBank product, because I tried it on a couple of sites. Hub pages, always good to see. Yahoo Answers, like I said, good. Buzzle, I mean, yeah, definitely. Let's check out this one. Let's check out our number 1 competitor. Okay, well, as you can see, this is just an AdSense site. Okay, now it's probably got a lot of articles, this site, as I can see, but still it's just an SEO site. The squeeze page, AdSense, you know, probably might have a load of backlinks, but you know, it's probable we might outrank this as well. There's exactly the kind of keywords you want to find right here. Okay, so here we go. We found a sniper keyword. You know, I don't know how long this video's lasted now, but I've shown you absolutely everything. I've walked you through, and basically, if you didn't find a keyword yet, you just keep doing this until you found one that matched. Okay, so we've gone from nothing and we found a sniper keyword. Basically, now I would go ahead and now build a sniper site around this keyword. I'd go ahead and register a domain, etc., and we'd be off and away. Now, to give you a little bit more information on what keywords you can rank for and what keywords you can't, let's just keep looking for some other sites. Some other sites you're going to want to avoid. One is Wikipedia. If you see that Wikipedia, you won't rank for it. That keyword is probably very competitive. If you see WikiHow, unlikely you're going to outrank it. If you see stuff like about, it's hard to outrank as well. About is a website that looks like this. It's got kind of a red thing going on. Just you'll have seen it a lot of times. Here's about. If you see stuff like YouTube videos, so let's say we search six-pack, maybe this might bring up some YouTube results. Okay, interesting. Videos for six-pack, this has brought up a load of YouTube results. Now, seeing these does not mean you're going to rank for it at all. Seeing YouTube results doesn't really mean anything, okay? So don't get excited if you see a load of videos ranking for a keyword. Okay, now obviously this is just a keyword you'd never rank for. WikiHow, look exactly. IMDb, which is obviously which is obviously a massive movie website. Men's Health, massive men's magazine. You know, Wikipedia. You know, this is exactly the kind of keyword you just never rank for, and you can clearly see that. Okay. Whereas the other, you know, the keyword we found earlier, you know, you could clearly rank for. Okay. So there's just a few more guidelines. Now, the second guideline I want to mention is that it takes a while. Let's just get rid of those men there. Now, it takes a while to find keywords. That is without a doubt. But you know, definitely be patient with it. Don't just settle for a keyword because you think you're going to rank. Keep looking. Make sure your first sniper site is a good one. Okay, look for that guaranteed win, and you'll be fine. Also, remember that this is, like I said, a learning process. It's more of an art than a science. And there's more words later on this in a manual, but this might take you a little bit to learn. But as you get better and better and better, you'll just be able to find loads of keywords and know exactly what you're going to rank for.
So just to finish off with, I just want to show you one more strategy. There's actually a lot of strategies for finding keywords. However, I just want to show you one more that I think is potentially a really powerful one and kind of a new one, and can really help you uncover some hidden gold mines. And then once again, it's free, which is really cool. Okay, so basically, what you want to do is you want to head over to, you should already have an idea of the niche you want to go into, okay? So we're going to head over to Google and we're going to type in SEMrush, okay? That's the website we're going to use. And we're going to go over and click on this. Now there's a paid version of this, but we don't need to pay it. We're just going to use the basic free version, and that's going to more than get the job done for us, which is great. And what we're going to do is you're going to take a competitor. Okay, so you're going to take a competing website. That means, you know, if your keyword was, you know, how to lose weight fast, in that top 10 results on Google, like we just went through, you're going to take one of the people off there, or all of them, one at a time, is actually a very good strategy. All off there, one at a time, and put them in to this tool right here, and you're going to actually find out some very interesting information. Okay, now for example, I've chose this. So my keyword was how to lose the last 10 pounds fast. Okay, and this was actually a keyword recently. I was looking at targeting for a sniper site. Okay, and basically this is an article here. It's on womenshealth.com, which is, you know, a pretty big authority site by all stretches of the imagination. And this actually technique works better if you use it with, if you put in a sniper site into SEMrush or another similar website of that caliber. With an authority site, it doesn't work quite as well, or it works in a different way. It doesn't work quite as well because this website's got a lot more weight behind it, you know, so it could easily rank a lot better than your site. Whereas if you look at sort of newer, sort of more individual sites like the one you're going to be creating with your sniper site, and you see that this website is ranking for other keywords, you're going to know you're going to be able to target them. But this will make sense in a second. So anyway, all we need to do is go up to the URL, copy that, then head over to SEMrush. So this is the actual URL of the website, of the actual post. Whatever's ranking in Google, that's what you need to put in there. Okay, so we got the complete thing here, really easy. I'm just going to press search. Alright, and once we press search, we're going to get a whole bunch of interesting information here. But to start with, we're getting some very, very interesting information. Okay, so the phrase I was targeting was how to lose the last £10. Okay, so, and you can see it's in position 3 for that keyword. So if you went to Google, it would be the third one down. Okay, now you don't need to pay attention to the volume and everything like that. We've already kind of been through that, as you know. But you do need to pay attention to the other keywords that this is ranking for, because this can actually help you. It's pretty cool. I'm sure you can start to see the magic here. Identify other keywords you could easily rank for. So for example, if this is ranked also for losing the last £10 and it's ranked 4, you know, it's worth considering that you could target that keyword as well, you know, and then you can click on that and you can go into more information about that keyword, etc., etc. And so you see right here, from originally from the keywords Google came up with, we've potentially already came up with a bunch of others, and moreover, we've not only came up with a bunch of others, but we can see how well this website's ranking in those. So if we see that this website isn't ranking that well for how to lose £15 in a month, for example, it's possible it's quite a competitive keyword. Okay, now you can use some of these figures actually to kind of help you decipher how competitive it's going to be. For example, you know, this one, which is $2.67. So what this means, if someone was paying for traffic, that's how much they would potentially be paying. $2.67 lose £10 fast. Okay, whereas this one, weight plateau, okay, you know, is kind of just 0, which means people aren't really paying for that. So maybe it's not the greatest keyword, but it's also probably going to be a lot less competitive than this one, which is more closely obviously associated to commercial activity, or that results in people buying, which is why people are prepared to pay for those clicks and those visitors. Okay, so what you can do is you can actually type in loads of the URLs of loads of different websites for a bunch of the keywords you're considering, or maybe even, you know, this would lead you somewhere new. So now, instead of this being my main keyword, how to lose the last £10, how to lose £15 fast, that could become a new keyword that I would go and investigate, and then from there put some in here. And this is a really good way to kind of utilize what other sites are doing to kind of identify opportunities within the marketplace, which I think is pretty cool. So I recommend that you go and do this as well, and certainly check out your competitors just to get an idea. Even if it's not to be, even if you've already found your keyword, which quite possibly you have, you can use these keywords later on when you're either bulletproofing your site or adding in more content, or LSI keywords, which we'll talk about later on. Okay, but it's a really powerful technique to help you identify some holes in the market. So thanks for watching. Head back to the manual now. We'll find your keyword first, then head back to the manual, and I'll see you in the next video.